Hey man, what's got you off in your phone there?
Oh, just going through all the funny Mothman memes and supernatural shit posts I've been wanting to share. I just don't know where to put the posts yet.
Don't you know about the Supernatural Selection Discord?
We have a Discord?
Yeah, for years, dude. Where have you been?
Can people chat with the hosts and get previews of upcoming episodes and generally post funny shit as much as they want with other listeners?
I mean, if that's your bag. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that, but there are even live streaming events for the shows there, too. You've been in a few. How do you not know this stuff?
It must have been my doppelganger. How do I get into the Discord?
It's easy. Just visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com. Now say that 3 times fast.
Well, that's perfect. Now I can share 3 terabytes of Hollow Earth memes. Get it? Terabytes!
Never mind. Forget I said anything. Just don't do that. You should definitely not visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com to join the Discord. We don't want you there.
Too late. I'm already posting my alien abduction fan fiction with the general chat.
Join the hosts and listeners of Supernatural Selection on the official Discord. Just visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com.
I almost completely forgot to say I'm recording. I was like, God, I'm tired. The end. It's been a day.
It's been.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin. With me this week are Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah? How's that monitor looking over there?
You don't need to brag to the people about my monitor, okay?
Wow. Okay.
I'm just saying,
Hey, I think it's really cool. I don't think I could deal with it, but it's really cool.
I heard it's very big and curvy.
It's not that big. It's only 34 inches.
It's zaptic. 34 inches. That's pretty fucking big. So yeah, and we've got Mr. David Davis. David, how are you today?
I'm doing well enough. I'm still at the whole, an essay a day based on a horror movie a day, and I am feeling it now. We're a third of the way through, but I'm going to keep it going.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just totally forgetting how to do this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it. We were supposed to record on Thursday, but I was very tired because I had a long day, and I appreciate you bumping us to Friday here.
That's okay. That's fine. We're all tired now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, words. How the fuck does that work?
Do you want me to take over?
No, it's cool. But David, do we have any housekeeping?
No. I should have a working draft of the book ready to go sometime. I think next week. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and put some finishing touches on that, and then we'll get it released. We'll probably put it up for patrons first, and then do the general release, starting in November, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I already know our order this week. It's going to be me, Mike, David.
Okay.
All right. But before we do that, this is something I just wanted to bring up from the store. So we got these this new line of bourbons in from a local in Mississippi distiller called Crittenden, and it's their Cut Above, and their new line is cryptid themed. So I have a bottle set aside, not to drink, but to just have, of Mothman.
Ooh.
I have a bottle of Mothman set aside. Neither Mike or I are going to get it. And Mike, what was the holiday we're going to celebrate with it?
Buttmas?
Yes, it was Buttsmas.
There you go.
Buttmas. Because And I picked a day for this. I meant to bring this up on the show, which I'm doing now. So November 17th is the date of the first Mothman sighting.
Oh.
So November 17th is Buttmas. Because, number one, the statue of the Mothman, of course, has an ass.
Now, did you see that someone put a tribal tattoo on it? Right above, like, a tramp stamp?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there
it's
you
probably
go.
just a temporary tattoo or whatever, but
I
still,
hope
I'm just
so.
like, I appreciate that. Like, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, you know, and of course he is a butt-eating enthusiast. So,
As we have discussed.
yes. So, Buttmas, celebrate with us this year, won't we? So, I wanted to start off, instead of a news story, it's a topic that Dusty sent to me. And I knew about this, of course, because me. And it's not really a full episode topic, so we'll just have a little discussion about this. So, a little change up. David, Mike, are you guys familiar with the Utsuru Bune?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, great. Okay.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
No, that's called sarcasm.
Oh, okay. I'm tired and am incapable of picking up that.
Okay, so I can't bully you, or if I do bully you, it's going to be twice as effective. It's like a critical hit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Mike, other than when I mentioned it earlier today as a topic, have you ever heard of it?
Yes. I mean, well, no. Were you telling me about it? Was no.
Both of you just ripping me a new one there. Well, Utsuro Bune, which this is from the Wikipedia article, also Utsuro Fune or Urobune, was an unknown object that allegedly washed ashore in 1803 in Hitachi province, on the eastern coast of Japan. Utsuro means hollow, and Bune from Fune means boat.
Well, see, I've heard of the Hitachi province, but is there such a thing as the Sibean Desert?
That's terrible. No, but there is the Tenga Pass.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, accounts of the incident appear in 4 texts. Ushuku, Saki, and Toen Shosetsu. And then, like, oh, yeah, the others. God damn it. Hyoryuyu, Kishu, and Ume no Chiri. Those are the 4 texts.
Okay.
So, the basic idea is that the date is not specific, all right? There's one account that says February 22nd, another March 24th. But in 1803, fishermen discovered off the coast of the Hitachi province, saw a strange vessel drifting in the sea. They towed the vessel to land and discovered that it was a 10-foot high and 17-foot wide craft. Its shape reminded them of koro, Japanese incense burner, or in some descriptions, a rice bowl. Its upper part appeared to be made of red lacquered rosewood, while the lower part was covered with with metal plates. And the upper part had windows made of glass or crystal, with bars on them, and were clogged with some kind of tree resin. And inside was a redhead. A redheaded lady wearing a strange form of dress. And when she was let out, she was wearing clothes no one had ever seen before. She did not speak Japanese. They did not speak her language. Everyone said she seemed very polite and very nice. But they decided that, you know what, we don't want any part of this. So they stuck her back in the boat and just kind of pushed it back out to sea.
Fuck.
And my favorite part of this story is the village elder was apparently like, listened to her talk, and her strange language and was like, I think she's a princess and she had an affair on the man that she married, and they cut off her lover's head and then stuck it in this box that she's carrying and then put her out to sea.
Wait, so she was carrying a box too?
Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot to get to that part. She was wearing carrying a light-colored box. Just a second. A rectangular box made of pale material and around 24 inches in size, squared. Did not allow anyone to touch the box, no matter how kindly or pressingly the witnesses asked. And the village elder was like, well, obviously it's got the head in there, and that's why she doesn't want anybody to touch it.
Huh.
With no clear reason for that assumption other than it sounded cool.
Well, also, like, the headings were a thing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And there might be some cultural, just projecting their culture onto this mysterious stranger.
Yeah. So the question is, the fuck? See, there's a lot of folks that say this was a UFO. And she was an alien or an alien hybrid, which of course they do.
I wasn't aware that, like, aliens were getting their UFOs off of Etsy.
I don't know. Oh, the top of the craft also had strange writing on it that no one could identify. So, there's not a lot of great detail here.
Yeah, the language is some crazy gibberish called Gaelic.
Here's the thing. I thought that too. But then, there's a lot of redheads in Russia, which is substantially closer. Now, Mike, didn't you have some thoughts on that Russian thing?
I mean, you put me on the spot here. You really shouldn't put me on the spot.
Sorry.
Because I wasn't ready for it.
Baba Yaga. That's it.
It's a Baba Yaga?
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking it up. Okay, well, we'll talk a little bit more about this. The really interesting part is that this was apparently not the first time one of these things had washed up on the shores of Japan.
Yeah, it started with the Dutch in, like, the 1400s.
Oh, no!
They isolated them to an island.
Yeah, but no. In the 1600s, another Utsurobune with another redhead apparently washed ashore. And then there was another one in the 1700s. I'm like, so 100 years apart, these redheads, these 20-year-old redheads keep washing up on the Japanese shore.
Like, it sounds to me like there's an anime about this somewhere.
You would think.
Yeah, I feel like that's prime for an anime. Like, it's the one person coming back every 100 years trying to find the reincarnation of their lover or something like that, and that's the anime.
Man, we should...
I wash up on shore in a mahogany UFO looking for my lover. That's the title of it.
They've got to start shortening these titles. But, Mike, you find anything about the Russian?
So what I was going to say is that, Russia, the east coast of Russia is nothing but a blasted hellhole that nobody lives on, from what I understand.
Like New Jersey.
I guess. I've never been to, I've been through New Jersey, so I can't
I'm glad you survived.
Sure. But yeah, it's that nobody really, especially at that point, probably goes to the east coast of Russia. The Russians don't go there.
Right.
I think only recently have they really started doing stuff recently in the last 50 years because, it was valuable for launching rockets from there.
Because there's no one to fuck with.
That and because it's you really want to launch rockets if you're launching rockets east, obviously you want to do it from the east coast. You get a speed advantage because you're going with the rotation of the earth instead of against it.
Okay.
So there's I think it's I can't remember maybe 1,000 kilometers per hour difference or something. For orbital speeds, because basically you just get, obviously if you go west, if you launch west going into what they call a retrograde orbit, you have to go fast. You have to add the rotational speed of the Earth to your total speed to, reach your orbit. Whereas going east, you get basically a little bit for free. If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're on a spinning ball, you have to cancel out the spin of the ball and then also add more speed on top of that versus just going with the spin of the ball.
I was putting together a theory, but like things don't seem to be lining up for that because.
Well, go ahead. What is it?
Well, because I was wondering because there is a distinctive group of redheaded Russians, like, and the Udmurts.
Is this the Mongolian ones that me and Mike were talking about, or
no?
Okay.
They but like where they're positioned doesn't really line up with because what I was thinking is because the Kuril Islands have always been kind of this point of contention between like Russia and Japan that maybe it was someone on the shores north of the Kuril Islands in a weird boat or something like that, but
Gotcha.
the redheadedness doesn't match up with like the region,
Right.
So
Now, it also said she was like 5 feet tall, which there's some oddly specific things with this.
Yeah.
One of the other things about it is the whole, oh my God, my brain. This is not the day for me to do this, I guess. Anyway, point is, it's just weird as hell. Some of the theories are that it's just entirely made up. And that, it's a metaphor for Japanese isolationism. Like, rally around the emperor and push the foreigner back into the ocean.
now, okay, so here's a question: is red hair at all a thing among the Dutch?
Yes.
So what if it is a situation because the Dutch were isolated to that island?
That is another theory.
Yeah, what if they had stuck someone in a boat to try to like sneak them to another part of Japan?
That's fair, because the general population of Japan had never seen a Dutch, so.
Right, and you also wonder like, okay, so what's in the box? What's in the box? But
What's in the box?
But like, the theory is okay, it was a head, but what if it is like some sort of message for a local lord, like trying to establish trade relation or something like that? This sounds like a season 2 of Shogun or something.
Yeah, Mike mentioned that actually, Shogun, when we were talking about it earlier. Now, my thing is the head. That is just like
it's a weird detail.
Contemporary theory.
Yeah, that's interesting.
With absolutely no basis to it. It's like just if you met someone from Portugal and they had a duffel bag and you just made up a backstory and told everyone.
Hey, you got a child's corpse in there or something?
Yeah, no, that's it exactly. It's like, it's a fetus. Letting it gestate in a box. That's how they do that.
I'm going to go ahead and put the theory forth that it is some sort of attempt at getting a hold of another local lord to try to open up some sort of trade relation outside of that island. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my theory.
It's not a bad theory, Mike. How about you? Sound good to you, or have you got your own theory?
I really don't have a theory. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I don't know that it happened, but if it did, the idea that it... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we know that it happened because we also know that Jesus went to Japan. They have that hill where he...
right, the Jesus hill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we know Jesus was there at least.
Well, again, just there is the part of me that wants to believe that somewhere east of Japan, there's just a place where they're sticking Irish women in boats and pushing them off.
Yes.
The bloody English. Yeah. Oh. But then you think about it, and it's like, how far would that UFO have to travel with that diminutive Irish woman to get to, because it'd have to, cross the South. No. I guess the question is, do you go Atlantic past South America to the Pacific, or do you go around
Jesus.
Cape Horn in Africa and come
Yeah, I was gonna
up?
say Cape of Good Hope and Cape Horn. Neither one of them's a good way to go. You're gonna fucking
And that,
die.
I just don't know which one would be the more efficient path if you're just kind of like drifting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did they mention anything about like oars? Did she have food with her?
No, just wait. Yeah, she did have food. Thank you for bringing that up. She had like 3.6 liters of water,
which is very specific,
and kneaded meat, like as in what you do to bread, like dough,
like a meatloaf.
I guess.
Or was that maybe they could be talking about like potted meat, because potted meat was a popular way of preserving meat.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, this sounds like the White Devil trying to like get up to the northern coast to work with some I don't know, daimyo or feudal lord to try to like it's Shogun season 2 probably. That's what it is.
She also had 2 bed sheets.
Okay, I'm glad that she packed the essentials.
Somebody did.
Like, was there a pillow? Like,
it didn't say there was a pillow. Just 2 bed sheets, some potted meat, and water. Meaning, I don't know how she pooped.
Yeah, like, do you just hang your ass out the side of the UFO? Like, did one side of the UFO have like a shit trail? I don't.
Man, yeah, no, just floaters all the way behind her, straight from Russia.
Yeah, just leaving little brown icebergs.
God. Ugh, gross. Well, anyway, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about that, because I don't think that warrants like a whole episode.
It would definitely fit in like a series of like weird random like people being found and we have no idea what the fuck happened.
Yeah. Yeah, like another anomalous episode.
Yeah, but that like I have so many goddamn questions now.
And I don't have any answers for those questions. So, yeah.
Look, I want the listeners to put forth a theory. Like, let us know in the Discord what you think is happening, because...
Yes, tell us your theory on the sea-bound UFO ginger.
And then wait for the animated release next summer.
Yeah. God damn it. It's gonna happen now. It's gonna fucking happen.
It's out there. We're gonna manifest it through the power of will and magic. And then Mike's gonna end up talking about it. Then we're gonna go, holy shit, it happened.
That's true. Yeah. So don't forget, draw a sigil on some paper, come on it, burn it, and then this will happen. So remember your chaos magic, people.
No,
what's that, Mike?
No, don't.
No, don't. Okay.
Please.
He's begging.
You don't have to do it, Mike. It's for believers.
Yeah.
I'm asking them for their own good.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
It's gonna be real fun when I get into chaos magic and like try to practice it as I'm reading about it.
Please don't. It was not a good idea on my part, and I don't recommend you do it. So.
Oh, I'm gonna spiral in like some fantastic ways, and my downfall is gonna be amazing to witness.
You are gonna have a mental breakdown when you do that. So.
Too late for that.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, that's my first segment thing there. So, Mike.
Yeah.
Tell me, what have you got for us?
What do I have indeed? This one's a little old, but I just came across it today. It's from Vice from 2019.
A little old.
The headline is, "This Hong Kong woman's constipation may have caused amnesia."
Do the fuck what now?
So, I don't know if I want to read this whole... Well, it's not that long of an article.
I mean, but, work through it. I know it's going to be a long process, but it'll eventually come out all right in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. Hey, that reminds me, when you've had, like, any kind of constipation and difficulty pooping, do you ever, like, actually use Lamaze?
Like the breathing?
Yeah.
Like, are we actually discussing this? Because I have strategies.
No, I was just throwing that out there. But anyway, Mike,
He's just
please.
casting his poop into the void.
Casting my poop to the wind.
I disappear like a wizard in Harry Potter before they invented indoor plumbing.
God, yeah, after Mike's done, I gotta talk about that for a second. No, we'll talk about that on Distraction Hole. Continue, Mike.
So you know the feeling. You're bent over on the toilet, your stomach doubling down with pinching pain as you frantically try to get the remainder of everything you ate last night out of your system. And your mind goes blank because all you can concentrate on is how much it hurts to squeeze it all out.
Jesus.
That's kind of what happened to this Hong Kong woman, except she also lost 10 years worth of memories when her poop finally popped out.
Where was this published, real quick?
Vice.
Holy, I just appreciate that they have to like go and describe the process of like constipation. I appreciate that. That's
for
journalism.
those of you who have never pooped before.
Yeah. According to the Chinese newspaper Sky Post, an unnamed woman strained so hard that the shit hit the fan, and she suffered from temporary amnesia for about 8 hours.
And this is Vice. You're sure this isn't from Gizmodo or anything?
Yeah, concerned that she suddenly
shit
couldn't
out
remember
her memories.
Yeah.
God.
Concerned that she suddenly couldn't remember anything from the last decade, her family took her to the hospital. According to her son, she had been suffering from constipation for a while now and had a mental blackout because of it. But after spending the night in the hospital, she woke up with all her memories mysteriously and thankfully restored. She didn't even realize that this had happened and had no recollection of the dramatic scare she had caused.
I have a question. Does it say? Yeah. Does it say how old her son is?
No.
Because I hope he's 8 and she just took a shit and didn't know who the fuck this child was.
Well, even if her son's like 20, she'd think he's 10. If she was...
She comes out, there's just this man in the house.
Yeah. Hong Kong-based neurologist Dr. Peng Zhiong. Yeah, there's no other J, so Zhiong attributes this incident to something defined in medical terms as transient global amnesia. This happens when blood flow and oxygen to the brain is compromised by the jugular vein valve. He also said that such occurrences usually happen when people are highly emotional or frequently carry heavy objects, putting them at a higher risk of temporary amnesia.
Fuck, I was drinking. Fuck.
Okay.
Carrying heavy objects.
Now, I've taken
How many
a
Corix
shit.
did it weigh? How many Corix did it weigh?
Oh, God. Now, I have taken a shit and been like, man,
Where am I?
how does math work?
Science.
My legs hurt.
I've taken a shit so hard my ass hurt, but that, I wouldn't say I've had like mental, I've sat on the toilet so long my legs were asleep, but that's a different thing.
Here's the thing. She's probably achieved a form of nirvana because literally, like, she transcended and, like, found a peace, like, and lost, like, 10 years.
So, hashtag shit Buddha.
Yeah, like, that's wild.
So science blog IFL Science says that excessive straining can sometimes cause a condition called vasovagal syncope. Syncope? I don't know.
Syncope?
Syncope? SYNCOPE. Syncope. I would say the E was not.
I don't know.
Which basically means you faint and lose consciousness.
Oh.
You ever poop so hard you passed out?
Nearly.
This is similar to something known as the weightlifter's blackout.
Ah.
It's not uncommon to lose consciousness temporarily if you strain too hard or hyperventilate due to a sharp spike in heart rate and blood pressure. The sudden drop that follows often results in temporary reduction of blood flow to the brain. Something similar also happened to a 58-year-old man in Taiwan in 2016 who woke up with transient global amnesia after being constipated the night before.
Wow.
According to his neurologist, he was also in intense emotional state after watching a heated political talk show.
What the fuck?
You got to shit, and you watch like fucking
The debate.
and then you just have amnesia. Lovely. You get so mad, you forget.
So, Mike, you've never taken a shit so hard you were born onto new worlds where the shit is the key?
No, I've gone through hell while taking a shit, and I've sat on the toilet, doubled over, thinking if I just get through this, I will be a better person in life.
Yeah, no, I think we've all been brought to tears before.
Yeah, I've had one of those shits where I've thought, I might be better off dead.
Yeah, they should really change the name to something like Pressed Hamnesia.
Oh, man, that reminds me of something from work. I'll tell that after Mike's done.
We know constipation can be a pretty shitty thing and even have deadly consequences sometimes. But does this mean constipation can actually cause amnesia? These incidents are rare, but according to a doctor who spoke to The Sun, this temporary loss of memory can also lead to bleeding in the brain and cause a stroke.
Holy shit!
Jesus Christ!
According to Nursing Times, this rare episode of memory loss can also be caused by having sex, heavy physical exercise like swimming in icy water, migraines/fits, physical or emotional stress, or driving a car. What?
What?
Any situation where you're exhausted and your heart rate gets up and you get that lightheadedness, I get it. So I see where this is coming from, but the fact it involves pooping is just very funny to me.
Yes. I mean, driving a car, though, what happened to Steve? Oh, he drove to Vermont and forgot everything.
So should I read the last pithy line they have?
Oh, please, Mike.
But it's better to be safe than sorry, so make sure you load up on all that fiber, kids, because shit happens.
Oh, I take it back. This was secretly written by the New York Post.
I would say stick to your day job, Shamani Joshi, but this is your day job, so screw you.
Well, and here's the thing. The reason constipation is a thing, aside from diet, is our toilets are not set up in a way that's naturalistic to the way that we should be pooping.
Are you gonna prostalize on the squatty potty?
Oh,
no, I think that's stupid, and I don't think you need that. You just need to squat at an angle. I don't know. I'm not going to go into the mechanics. Yeah, it's you're trying to you got to let gravity work by going at an angle.
Well, what you got to do is you got to look at your body like a tube of toothpaste. I'm not expanding on that. I'm just saying.
Okay, I thought you were going to continue that. Do you have someone come in and squeeze you?
No, you kind of got to roll yourself up,
okay.
really.
So here's the thing. Instructions unclear. Now I have a toothbrush up my ass. So.
God damn it, David. What is it with you and shoving stuff? Last week it was a candelabra. This week it's a toothbrush.
What's David shoving in his ass this week? Let's find out.
New segment.
What's in the bum bum?
Oh, God. Yeah. So there was a dude in the store today, and I think he farted, but for a minute, I swear, I thought this dude just shit his whole ass. I thought we were going to have to evacuate the building.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was real goddamn bad.
Yeah. No, gentlemen, I think we're all at that age where we can't trust a fart.
Definitely.
It's a 50-50. If you're getting ready to fart, you're just oh, God, please let the door stay closed.
Yeah, no. Here's a quick run-up of what that feels like. Ha, 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 ha. Excuse me, I may have had a disaster.
Yeah, no, it's definitely feels like a betrayal.
Yeah, no.
All those years of perfecting the, ultimate farts only for them to turn on you.
I feel like Obi-Wan at the top of the hill and my asshole is Anakin. And you were the chosen one!
You play the butt trumpet too much, eventually it wears out.
Well, sometimes you got to drain the valves.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. This is some high-quality podcasting.
You ever shit so hard you forget who you were?
I wished I'd forgotten the shit.
Bitch, I shit trains.
Now what?
Oh, God.
Motherfucker, I shit trains.
And
now
they're
what?
fucking freight trains.
I love the origin of that phrase. Are you familiar with it, David?
No.
Okay, so it's basically, you know how you'll be talking. Here's an example. Man, I remember that time I went to Wisconsin. Yeah, well, I went to Bali. Well, I went to Japan. Well, motherfucker, I shit trains. Now what? It's like I'm sick of trying to one-up your ass.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. We got variations of that.
Okay. Yeah.
Must be a regional thing, though, specifically about shitting trains.
I got it from the internet.
Okay.
And I think someone made a shirt of it once, many, many years ago. So I want I can't say what it actually said, but anyway. So Mike, thank you for that. That was a lot of fun. We got to talk about shit and shit.
Yeah, I came across that earlier today, and I'm like, I have to read this story.
Yeah, no.
I'm just worried that if we have to take a bathroom break, Kevin's going to forget that we're doing the podcast.
Oh, no, I'm going to come back. I'm not even going to know what a podcast is.
He'll think it's like, 2003.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be like, is this for iPods?
You guys remember 9/11?
No, not anymore. I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I remember that.
Oh, man.
So, David, what have you got for us to start with?
Well, I've got a fun one from Neoscope, futurism.com, Neoscope. They're a little thing about medical tech.
Is that like a light gun that came with a Neo Geo?
Right. So this is from Noor Al-Sabai, who seems to write everything on Neoscope, it seems. But this was published October 8th. Excuse me. Scheming doctor wears disguise during fake COVID shot murder plot.
I think I saw this somewhere and was like, well, I'm going to see if anybody else does this one.
It's been described as one of the most elaborate criminal plots in recent memory.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now,
elaborate doesn't mean good, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I've only skimmed this, so, we'll see what happens here. This is going to be me discovering it with you.
Okay.
All right. In England, a doctor injected his mom's boyfriend with a toxic substance while wearing a disguise in an attempt to prevent the older man from inheriting property.
Okay.
As CBS News reports, Sunderland UK-based doctor Thomas Kwan has been found guilty after admitting to the complex murder plot, which involved him tricking his mom's partner into thinking he was giving him a COVID booster shot. In January, the 53-year-old general practitioner went to great lengths to convince his mom's partner, 72-year-old Patrick O'Hara, that he was a nurse administering the vaccine. Besides using a wig and fake facial hair to obscure his identity, Kwan also sent falsified letters to his 70-something victim to lure him into getting the deadly jab. I'm not a fan of the phrasing of that,
yeah,
given the discourse.
And when you said wig and fake beard, I'm picturing like an obviously fake, black beard, and then like a blonde afro wig.
I mean, I don't know, man.
And like a clown nose.
Oh, God. Okay. Suspicions began to arise even before the disguised doctor administered the shot to the older man, with his mother, Jenny Leung, commenting that the nurse was the same height as her son.
Wow.
Kwan reportedly fled soon after giving O'Hara the toxic shot. After being identified via security camera footage, Kwan was trapped back to his own abode, where Northumbria police said that just sounds like where you would find Vikings.
Northumbria.
Northumbria police said they found arsenic, a poisoner's handbook, and files on how to get away with murder by poisoning.
All right. Can we just say that if you're planning on committing murder, maybe throw the instructions away.
Use someone else's computer.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously. You use like a library computer, or it's easier at work.
Yeah, I mean, he works at a doctor's office. You could totally just say, "Oh, I'm researching a poisoning case" or something like that.
Or another nurse was researching a poisonous case.
Yeah, you know what? I think we would make good murderers. We're really thinking this through.
Yeah,
Good to know. Good to know.
Yep. No, that's certainly a thing we need.
Yeah. So, though the exact toxin Quan used remains unknown because he refused to say what it was in the shot he gave O'Hara, Crown prosecutors said it was likely a pesticide of some sort.
Oh, wow.
While the victim is lucky to be alive, CBS notes that he suffered major injuries from the shot that appeared to eat away at his flesh.
Holy shit. What is it, crocodile?
Right? He spent weeks in intensive care and ultimately had to have parts of his arm removed.
Oh, God.
And Monsanto don't play.
I was about to say, I think Monsanto's the real criminal here.
Right? As The Guardian reported, law enforcement was astounded by the amount of effort Quan put into his conspiracy to prevent O'Hara from potentially inheriting his mother's house after she dies. It was, as those prosecutors described the trial, quote, one of the most elaborate criminal plots in recent memory.
In fact, I'd put the word needlessly in there.
Yeah, pretty wild. Like, he could have... I don't know. I'm not going to give away all my secrets.
Yeah, let's not, give him pointers anymore.
Right. Your scheme, I think it was an interesting scheme, but I think you overthought that, so I'm going to give you a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10 due to, complexity.
Yeah. Though he pleaded guilty to poisoning O'Hara, Quan's refusal to name his poison resulted, as police claim, in the older man's health deteriorating while they rushed to find a cure for the unknown substance. With his guilty plea in place, Quan now awaits sentencing, and as the judge's trial said, he can expect a substantial prison term for his despicable machinations, which, kudos to being able to use the words despicable machinations in an article. You gotta love it.
Good album title. So, Mike, if you were going to poison somebody, what would you use?
So I don't know. I know of some things. I have no idea how to get them. Arsenic and stuff like that. But,
Well, the thing about arsenic is you have to pair it with old lace.
Good point.
I can't think of anything offhand, though, that it would be... I just don't think about poisoning people that often, I guess. Jeez, I need to, up my game.
My mom used to make...
Who would you guys poison?
Who? Oh, man. I'm glad you said that. I was about to spill the beans on, a thing my mom used on roaches that would probably do really well. Who?
No, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Sometimes I egg you on into things that you should probably not pursue.
That's a good point.
I apologize.
I will end up on several lists if I answer that, so I'm not going to answer that.
Well, several more lists. We already know the FBI or the CIA is keeping tabs on us.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, David, now that we've incriminated ourselves on some level.
Multiple times.
And the number of times we've thought about how to get away with murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess
I think everybody does, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but as far as what I would use, I don't know that, but I know what I wouldn't use. You don't want to use things that, bleach. Too easy to, it. From what I understand, the person you're trying to poison with bleach is going to taste it well before it's a lethal dose.
Oh, right.
I've seen several cases of, wives trying to poison their husband with bleach, and they're like, "Oh, why does my coffee taste like ass?
Why does this taste and smell like bleach?" Yeah.
So that's right out. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll just kill him with kindness.
What about boric acid mixed with garlic and sugar?
Probably wouldn't it'd burn your mouth before it actually did anything. I think boric acid's so caustic it would hurt, and you just spit it out.
Okay.
Trying to kill somebody with a broiling hot baked potato.
I would love for someone to try to kill me with a broiling hot baked potato, so I could let it cool down and then just have a baked potato.
And
does the baked potato have toppings in it?
Yes.
Yes, they're very hot too.
Good.
Like
good.
I took a bite of I had microwaved some refried beans the other night.
Yeah, that was on the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I burned the roof of my mouth was like all like wrinkly and blistered for like a week.
Jesus Christ.
Not like, bad. It was just like kind of I could run my tongue over it. It's like going, wow, that's really weird feeling.
I burned
textured.
I burned my tongue on coffee at Disneyland one time.
Wow.
Like it was pretty bad for a couple of days too.
So that became
shit.
it became the saddest place on earth.
Yeah, no, it was like, no, this shouldn't happen here. What the fuck?
Yep.
Jesus.
Mine didn't hurt. In fact, I can rub my tongue around my second molar on the top right.
He's
still
just like
feel a little bit of
his boils, waiting for him to burst.
I can still feel like a little bit of like abraded mouth flesh. But it never hurt. It never hurt after the initial burn. So
you know what we should do is do terrible ASMR where we just run our mouths at the top, run our tongues on top of our mouths into the microphone.
Hey, can I just say fuck you for putting the term tonguing boils in my mind?
Actually, it's my third molar, but
okay. Well,
third molar must be nice. Nah,
I don't have any of those left. So that was depressing.
Yeah.
So, David, thank you for that, I guess.
Of course. You're welcome.
Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back after this. Hey, Kevin here. Hope you're enjoying the episode.
Hey, who are you talking to, Kevin?
Listeners of our shows, I also want to let them know that if they're enjoying what we've been doing, they can support us on Patreon.
Oh, Patreon. Were you going to tell them about the early episodes? Also, Patreon-exclusive episodes that can be found there, too?
Well, yeah, I was going to do the...
yeah, and then there's the other cool stuff, including art, merch for subscribers, like tote bags, hoodies, shirts, mugs.
Yeah, and...
Can you believe people could support us for only $5 a month? You're definitely going to mention that, too, right?
I was. Support Supernatural Selection and The Distraction Hole on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. Visit patreon.supernaturalselectionpod.com to learn more and get started today. And welcome back. So, you guys missed the sleepwalking piss discussion, but that's okay. We're back with our next set of stories, and this next one I've got from the dailystar.co.uk. Article is by Tom McGee, spelled M-C-G-H-I-E.
Okay.
Yeah. This is from October 2nd, 2024. I'm part of Bigfoot's clan. They arrived with gold mining aliens and fought dinosaurs.
Hell yeah.
That's how you want to start a goddamn article, guys.
Fuck yeah.
So, a, quote, Bigfoot commentator claimed the mythical apes arrived on Earth with aliens in order to protect them.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, speaking at the annual Pennsylvania, God damn it, the annual Pennsylvania Bigfoot Conference, Stacy Haslett wrote to Channel 5's Andrew Callahan. Haslett claimed that he had been with the Bigfoot people since around 2009. I'm part of the clan, says Haslett, who runs his own channel where he discusses conspiracy theories. Go fucking figure, guys.
I have lived with the Bigfoots. I have loved with Bigfoots.
There's one Bigfoot with me wherever I go.
Bigfoot guardian angel.
And in the photo, he looks like a geriatric member of ZZ Top, and his t-shirt says, Bigfoot saw me, nobody believes him.
There were two sets of footprints in the sand. One of them was Bigfoot's.
Yes. He added, they're not Sasquatches, they're not Bigfoots, they're the first people. They came here with aliens, tens of thousands of years ago. Haslett gave Callahan a detailed story of the Bigfoot people, who he claimed arrived here with aliens. The expert Haslett explained, the aliens came here to take the gold from our land. They brought the Bigfoot to protect them from the dinosaurs while they mined the gold. That's why they're the first people. They came here ages ago. This
is lining up with the Anunnaki bullshit,
isn't it? It sounds kind of like he just threw Bigfoot into Zacharias Sitchin.
Now here's the other thing. I think we're using the term expert too loosely here.
There should be quotes all over that.
Yeah.
According to Haslund, who admitted he wasn't keen on the American government.
Why is that the funniest fucking thing in this article?
I know. Claimed the Bigfoot people he knows so very well, aren't that taken with the Biden administration either.
Bigfoot's got big thoughts on Biden.
Apparently. They don't trust the government. In the 1960s, the CIA took a cryptid in and tried to capture him, he said. They put videos on it, but disappeared in a puff of smoke. The CIA hasn't touched them.
Now, would Donald Trump call them Biglyfoots?
Probably.
Okay.
Haslund's views on the Bigfoot monsters in his home state of Pennsylvania are another twist on the Sasquatch myth that varies from state to state. In Florida, the beast is dubbed the Barden Booger. No, it's not. It's the swamp ape. Yeah. And supposedly lives in the landlocked Putnam County of northern Florida. According my brain.
Is that you or is that the article?
That's me fucking up.
Oh, okay.
I was affected once again by the Mumbies curse.
Mumbies.
Yes. So, according to the Florida Times Union, the Barden Booger started popping up in the 1940s after a woman traveling through the forest thought she saw a tall man with a raincoat on. In reality, the person claimed at the time the figure was a 10-foot-tall monkey-like creature. And that's it. That's the article.
Wow.
Yay.
So,
stirring quality journalism.
I love the fact that Bigfoot has strong opinions about the Biden administration.
Oh, man. I wonder what Bigfoot's opinion is on the switch to Kamala.
Yeah, I know. Do you think Bigfoot would have been yelling for Trump to do a second debate?
You know, I feel like Bigfoot would be like a conservative cryptid, and I think like Mothman would be like liberal.
See, I was going to say Bigfoot would be a libertarian.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Oh, you're saying Bigfoot wouldn't be a comrade?
I don't know.
No, that's a good question. That is a good... Huh.
I feel like libertarian anarchist, maybe.
Yeah, we should figure out the political affiliations.
Wait. Okay, Mike, what did you say?
You're saying Bigfoot wouldn't be for the communal good?
Probably not.
Kind of an isolationist.
Yeah, I could see that. Branch Davidian.
You know, living on federal land, probably doesn't want the feds on there.
Oh, God, what was it, Ruby Ridge?
Yeah, God, could you imagine Ruby Ridge with Bigfoots?
Yes, I can, and I want to see that sci-fi original.
Can you imagine Waco, but with the Falcon Monster?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Asylum, come on, you heard it. Do it.
Oh, God.
Do it, fucking cowards.
Just fucking Bigfoot, like, sovereign citizen with a gun. Get off my property,
No taxes owed. Oh my God, I'm kind of smitten with the idea of a soft sit Bigfoot. Oh Christ,
oh,
man, can you imagine going to a gun show and Bigfoot's there?
Oh God, with a fucking brush cut.
Oh God, Mike.
Yeah.
What booth do you think he'd be at the most? Would he be at a gun booth, or would he be buying like a copy of the Turner Diaries?
Yeah, no, he'd be at the weird literature booths.
Oh yeah, you know, I miss those.
Like, you know that, like, if a Bigfoot decided to adapt to human fashion, like, it would be like a trucker outfit.
Oh, yeah. Actually, funny story. This is sort of and no, it's nothing personal. When I was first reading about Bigfoot when I was younger, I had this I got this great book out of the school library because, again, our high school, no, our junior high had an entire section on the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the stories always stuck with me was this woman that said Bigfoot was on her porch pounding on the windows, and when she looked, he was he is naked except for a plaid flannel shirt with the sleeves ripped off. So,
oh man, grunge Bigfoot.
So it's either grunge or Mojo Nixon, which I like to think Bigfoot would be into psychobilly.
Yeah, no, that absolutely.
Yeah,
I just all I know is that I feel like the Kentucky, the Hopkinsville Goblins, they're anti-capitalist. Like, it just that's the vibe they give off.
Yeah, no, they would burn a grocery store to the ground.
Yeah, they'd gnaw on a CO or two.
Yeah, meanwhile Bigfoot's over here listening to Elvis is Everywhere. So, anyway, that's my story. I just found the title so damned amusing, and when I saw the picture of the guy, I was like, oh, yes, thank God.
Strong opinions on the Biden administration.
And he's got, and the fella in question, of course, has no love for the government. So, perfect. Perfect story for us.
I find it very cowardly of him to project his ideals onto Bigfoot, though.
But he's not. He's in the tribe.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's fair. He's been accepted as one of them.
Yeah.
So
he's one of which there was a friendship ceremony, kind of like what L. Ron Hubbard did with the natives. Yeah.
Shit.
So that's my story. Mike, what have you got for your second story there, pal?
So
is it more shit?
No.
Memory loss?
Shit. No more shit.
Poopy.
No memory loss. No poopies. So it's from space.com. From September 15th, 2024.
Okay.
Could we turn the sun into a gigantic telescope?
Wait. Does this have to do with lensing?
Yes.
Okay, because when you say, can we turn the sun, I was like, into a garbage disposal?
Well, that too.
We should just shoot all of our garbage into the sun.
Yes.
Yeah, Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
That takes a lot of energy. All that energy could be put to, say, recycling.
Or shoot it into the sun.
Yeah, but rockets.
Rockets.
But that's going to, pollute. The rockets are not free.
Well, then you just take the pollution and you shoot it into the sun. I don't understand why we're still debating this.
Guys, better idea. Better idea than rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage rail gun. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm distracting Mike. I want to hear about this lensing thing.
So, using a phenomenon known as gravitational lensing, it might be possible to use the sun as a gigantic telescope to peer deep into space.
Deeper.
So, we have some incredibly powerful telescopes that have given us spectacular views of the cosmos and allowed us to pop-up ad.
What? Oh, well, son of a bitch.
It allowed us to look back to the early days of the universe. These observatories, such as the James Webb Space Telescope, are amazing feats of engineering that have required billions of dollars and decades of work.
Billions and billions.
Billions and billions of dollars.
The meat planet.
The dollar planet. But what if we could access an even better telescope than that already exists? This wouldn't be a typical telescope. It wouldn't even come with a lens, but it would be by far the most powerful telescope we'd ever build. This telescope would use the sun itself. To give some perspective on how powerful a sun-based telescope could be, consider the James Webb Space Telescope. With a mirror that's 21.3 feet or 6.5 meters, got anything but the metric system, right? In diameter, JWST is capable of achieving resolution of around 1/10 of an arc second, which is about 600 times better than the human eye. At that resolution, the telescope could see the details of a coin placed 25 miles away from it, or pick up the pattern of a regulation soccer ball sitting 342 miles away. Another example is the Event Horizon Telescope, which is really a network of individual instruments scattered across the globe. By carefully coordinating its elements, the telescope has given us impressive images of the disks of gas surrounding giant black holes. To achieve that, it managed an impressive resolution of 20 micro arc seconds. At that resolution, the telescope could spot an orange sitting on the surface of the moon.
Wow.
Which is like 100,000 miles away or so. What if we wanted to go even bigger? A larger telescope would need further gigantic dishes or network of antennae flying through the solar system, both of which would require enormous leaps of our technological capabilities. Excuse me. Because and the reason it would require a lot of technology is because they would have to, when you're talking about distributed telescopes like that, you have to know the exact distance between the telescopes. Mm-hmm. And so on the Earth, that's easy because they're all fixed to the ground. But when you're talking about a constellation of satellites, knowing down to the millimeter how far these satellites are away from each other is, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's a very, very, very hard problem to, keep that in mind, keep that data in step with the collecting of the data you're trying to gather. Mm-hmm. So it's a hard problem. But thankfully, there's just so happens to be a giant telescope already available, sitting right in the center of the solar system, the sun. While the sun may not look like a traditional lens or mirror, it has a lot of mass. And in Einstein's theory of general relativity, the
Mumby.
See, it's not just you, Kevin.
Okay.
Massive objects bend space-time around them. Any light that grazes the surface of the sun gets deflected around and, instead of continuing in a straight line, heads towards a focal point, together with all the other light that grazes the sun at the same time. Astronomers already use this effect called gravitational lensing to study the most distant galaxies in the universe. In fact, we've, and I don't know if this article will say so, but like the James Webb and Hubble telescopes have used it because you can see galaxies that are behind other galaxies or other, say the sun. You can see that galaxy because the sun or black hole even is warping the light around it. Huh. Now I just lost where I was reading.
Woo!
Yeah, when light from those galaxies passes near a giant cluster of galaxies, the mass of that cluster amplifies and magnifies the background image, allowing us to see much further than we normally could. The solar gravitational lens leads to an almost unbelievably high resolution. It's as if we had a telescope mirror the width of the entire sun. An instrument positioned at the correct focal point would be able to harness the gravitational warping of the sun's gravity to allow us to observe the distant universe with a jaw-dropping resolution of 10 to the power of 10 arc seconds. I think that's what that says. I'm not up on my math nomenclature. That's roughly 1 million times more powerful than the Event Horizon Telescope. Of course, there are challenges.
Here's the thing about all this. I understand the science on principle, but it is so far beyond any scale that I can imagine that I just equate it to magic.
So it's relatively simple, actually, because all you need is a satellite with a camera at the right distance from the sun. That's going to be the problem. I hope if this article doesn't touch on it, I'll give some clarification on that later because I've read up on it.
I get that. Again, it's the science and principle, but when you're dealing with the scale of space and everything like that, it just it kind of makes me nervous. I don't know. It's just I've never been a math person, and then when you're dealing with cosmic math, I suddenly understand why H.P. Lovecraft was terrified all the time.
Yeah, you've used shellfish.
Right. So you use binoculars or a telescope before, right? Both of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're doing the focusing right, you're basically moving one lens in relation to the other lens, right? So if you think of the sun as the objective lens, which is the outmost lens facing your subject, which in, like a telescope or a binocular would be the big lens at the front, and the satellite as the
little one.
The little one. I can't remember what that one's called.
The little one.
There's a term for that lens, and I cannot recall for the life of me. But anyway, the satellite is that other lens.
Yeah.
And basically, you just have to vary the distance between relation between the satellite and the sun to do your focusing and zooming. Yeah. So I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me finish the article, and then I'll cover anything it doesn't talk about. But okay. It's pretty much that simple. You just get a satellite to the right distance, but the distance turns out to be pretty far. Of course, there are challenges with using the solar gravitational lens as a natural telescope. The focal point, which is what I was getting to, of all this light bending sits 542 times greater than the distance between the Earth and the Sun. That's 11 times the distance to Pluto, and 3 times the distance achieved by humanity's most far-flung spacecraft, Voyager 1. So it's way out of the solar system. Voyager, so 3 times. So it would take Voyager another triple its lifespan now, just triple that. And that was 77. That's 46 years. So what's 3 times 46?
I can't even do that.
That's 130 years ish, 140. Let's call it 140 years for roundness sake. That's so it won't be until the year 2100 roughly.
Well, by then we'll be dead. So.
Yeah, the Voyager spacecraft will hit that distance around 2100, maybe a little sooner than that. But the good news is
we'll be dead.
Well, the good news is we've gotten better and better at launching things. Voyager was launched with a very low energy trajectory and had to use a lot of gravity assists before it was finally on its hyper solar.
You're just fueling our burn it all in the sun plan here at this point, because you're saying it's getting better. It's easier to fire shit in the sun now.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that. So not only would we have to send a spacecraft further than we ever have before, but it would have to have enough fuel to stay there and move around. More on that later. The images created by the solar gravitational lens would be spread out over tens of kilometers of space. So the spacecraft would have to scan the entire field to build up a complete mosaic image. Plans to take advantage of solar lens go back to the 1970s. More recently, astronomers have proposed developing a fleet of small, lightweight CubeSats that would deploy solar sails to accelerate them to 542 AU. Once there, they would slow down and coordinate their maneuvers, building up an image and sending the data back to Earth for processing. While it may seem outlandish, the concept isn't too far off from reality and what we would get with this kind of super telescope. And what would we get with this kind of super telescope? If we're aimed at Proxima b, the nearest known exoplanet, for example, it would deliver a 1 kilometer resolution.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
wow.
That's not like seeing. That's not quite seeing. But as seeing city resolution, like you could see cities and you could tell if something's artificial at a 1 kilometer resolution.
Jesus.
Considering that plans for successors to JWST hope to achieve imaging capabilities of exoplanets where the entire planet sits in a handful of pixels. So that's like probably, I'd call that 2,000 kilometer resolution. The solar gravitational lens puts those ideas to shame. It's capable of delivering an exquisite portrait of the detailed surface features of any exoplanet within 100 light years, let alone all the other astronomical observations it could achieve.
You can see an alien moon you.
Yeah, to say this would be better than any known telescope is an understatement. It would be better than any telescope we could possibly build in any possible future for the next few hundred years. The telescope already exists. We just need to have the right camera in the right position.
Mm.
So yeah, so the one of my other thoughts about something they didn't quite mention is they said CubeSats, but I've seen proposals that instead of trying to slow the satellites down, because you think about it, it's basically a camera on a satellite. It's about the cheapest you could probably make a satellite. It just needs, if you go with, like, say you have communication arrays, that it all has to do is make a lower powered, say you have a bigger satellite that's closer and more stable, and it just has to collect the data from these smaller satellites and retransmit it.
Mm-hmm.
These small satellites could be like basically, a cell phone in space or something. It could be, the size of I don't know, basketball or something. And you just send lots of them out. Say there's, a region of the sky you want to look at. You send a swarm of, hundreds of these satellites just blasting out.
No.
And they don't stop. They just keep going. So they, they're constantly sending data back. So you get stuff before the optimal position and the optimal position and after the optimal position.
So
all there. But you don't have to worry about like slowing the satellite down, because that's a lot of, stuff you need.
Yeah. Now, Mike, here's a question. Are you essentially, when you say, this is because my brain is terminally mushed. When you said basketball size, are you implying that the first launch would be Globetrotter 1?
Not quite, but it could be. I'm just saying as a rough measurement. Like,
sure.
That's like a third of a meter, 100 centimeters maybe. Just something, fairly small and easy to fling.
Well, what I'm hearing here is there's an opportunity to multitask. So what you do is you take these basketballs and then you attach them to a garbage scow, and then you fire that into space because
God. Okay,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah, see.
Back to the garbage. No, I got you.
Exactly.
I got you.
The other thing is we've spent like the last 10 minutes talking about the sun, and I have not said I wonder if there's beer on the sun yet. And I felt I needed to bring that up.
I was about to congratulate your restraint.
And now you gotta shame him.
There is no restraint. Now, I'm not gonna shame him because I too wonder if there's beer on the sun.
There isn't. It's too hot.
Oh man!
Not even Corona could survive the sun.
It couldn't survive a coronal mass ejection.
No.
So thank you, Mike.
But yeah, no. Like it was saying, this is one of our best bets to image a exoplanet at good enough resolution to see, topographic features.
It'd be like using Google Maps and finding the occasional spots on the map where there's someone nude sunbathing in the backyard.
Not quite, but yeah, but a good enough resolution to see, is this planet inhabited? And it's one of those things that since it'd be so I wouldn't say so expensive, but it would definitely be a limited tool. It's not like, the Hubble telescope or the James Webb telescope, which can stay on station and deliver data for, 20 years, 30 years, whatever. It's definitely going to have a limited window. So it's kind of like the final thing. It's like you use these other tools to narrow down your possibilities.
Yeah, whatever the best chance for life is on a
not even life, but
another.
just the best value for your, science dollar. It's like, okay, we really want to study this at better resolutions than what we can get with, our tools that we currently have. Well, then let's send some, sun telescope sats out there and, look at that area and see what more we can find out.
Yeah. No, I really like the idea, and I'm just are we going to see them do that in the next 10 years? I'm wondering.
We're going to be dead.
No, because NASA, they have the way their projects work is they take proposals from all these, institutions and everything. Mm-hmm. And usually these proposals run about 10 or 12 years until they're ready. So the stuff we're getting proposed today won't be ready for another between 8 and 12 years.
And then they'll give it to Boeing, and it'll
so-
just blow up
So
anyway.
no one's proposing this thing yet, so we won't see it in a decade, probably.
Yeah, and then if Musk gets involved, it'll be firing Teslas at the sun with cameras on them.
I made a very good Boeing joke, and I feel bad. So,
But
Who knows?
I mean, there's all kinds of cool like stuff that NASA is looking at project wise, but this unfortunately isn't one of them yet. So I would say this is probably at least 20 years away.
Yeah.
But as more and more companies get into the space launch space, which is a redundant term, the price of launches will come down, which will mean projects like this can happen more easily.
Hell yeah! No, I like it. Like there's the potential, and I would love to be around to see that.
you gotta
Definitely.
be dead.
Play out. Yeah, no, we're gonna be dead, but like,
Yeah,
just on the off chance that we do live.
right. Sure.
I know I won't be around for Star Trek shit, but I want to be around for Star Trek shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be around for at least Enterprise.
We'll be around for the eugenics war.
Oh, and oh yeah, the Bell Riots.
Yeah.
World War III.
Never forget the Bell Riots.
Yep.
Man, it's been a long road getting from there to here.
Shut up. You shut up. I hate that song. Shut up.
Oh, fuck you. That's a great theme.
Fuck you.
Well, I've got Faith of the Heart.
Oh, you can both go eat me a fuzzy marshmallow. Well, thank you for that one, Mike. As I said, my brain is just mush, so I tried to understand it. I get the premise. It's a science I have a problem with right now.
Instructions unclear. I have a telescope up my ass.
Damn it, David.
Hey, at least it's not binoculars.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll try to explain it now, but I thought the science was pretty straightforward.
No, it is. I'm just tired.
Kevin, this is what we call in the industry. We call it a goof.
A goof?
A gag. A gag.
Oh. Okay. No. Oh,
Well,
right.
apparently you're not
yes.
in the industry.
Yeah, I'm not in the industry under any circumstances. So, David, what have you got for your last article?
Well, I have a choice between two.
Oh, no.
So we have an animal article or we have a flesh horror article.
Animal.
And you want animal? What about you, Mike?
What was the other one?
Fleshy horror.
Animal.
Okay, all right. Okay, I see how it is. Spookiest month of the year, and you guys are
Yeah,
okay.
let's see what's dead
Okay.
this week. What animal died for our entertainment?
No dead animals from what I've seen here. So,
What the fuck?
Yeah, this is from the Associated Press. Washington State woman calls 911 after being hounded by up to 100 raccoons.
What?
Yeah. I don't know how to make that clearer.
No, I get it. I'm just like, what?
So this is by Becky Borer. Sheriff's deputies in Washington's Kitsap County frequently get calls about animals, loose livestock, problem dogs. But the 911 call they received recently from a woman being hounded by dozens of raccoons swarming her home near Polsbo stood out. The woman reported having to flee her property after 50 to 100 raccoons descended upon it and were acting aggressively, said Kevin McCarty, a spokesperson for the sheriff's office. She told deputies she started feeding a family of raccoons decades ago, and it was fine until about 6 weeks earlier when the number showing up went from a handful to around 100. Okay.
Damn.
Quote, she said those raccoons were becoming increasingly more aggressive, demanding food, and they would hound her day and night, scratching outside of her home at the door. If she pulled up her car, they would surround the car, scratch at the car, surround her if she went to her front door and her car or went outside at all, McCarty said.
Is this Hitchcock's lesser-known film?
They saw this as just a food source now, but they kept coming back to it and they kept expecting food. It was not clear what caused their numbers to balloon some. I'm just getting glimpses of Ratatouille here, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
one's under her hat and controlling her like a marionette?
Or more like, like a meal comes up to Remy and then like all of a sudden more and more rats are coming to the kitchen taking the food.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, I love Ratatouille. Anyway, both the Sheriff's Office and Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife determined no laws were broken, McCarty said. Let's see.
Mike, we're feeding raccoons inadvertently. Do you think this is going to happen to us?
Nah.
This is a nuisance problem kind of her own making that she has to deal with. While the cop's just like, yo, fuck you, not my job.
Just laughed.
Video from the sheriff's office shows raccoons milling around trees, and deputies who responded to the call observed 50 to 100 of them, he added.
I want a photo of this with the text, "You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker."
Bridget Meyer, a spokesperson with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, said by email that under state law it is illegal to feed large carnivores such as bears or cougars. While municipalities or counties, while municipalities or counties may have local statutes forbidding the feeding of other wildlife, it is not currently against the law to do so, she said. Regardless, the agency discourages people from feeding wildlife. Raccoons, for example, can carry diseases, and food can also attract predators such as coyotes and bears, according to Meyer. Meyer said that an agency wildlife conflict specialist has met with this woman who has stopped feeding the critters. The raccoons appear to have started disappearing now, or dispersing now that they are no longer being fed, and we are glad for a positive outcome in this case.
Oh,
Meyer
thank
wrote.
goodness.
Yeah, it was about a 90-minute car and ferry ride northwest of Seattle.
Good Lord.
Yeah, but 50 to 100 raccoons, man.
That's a lot of raccoons.
It is 50 to 100.
You
See,
know,
because
the
I thought
internet-
you said 50 to 100 at first.
Right. Now, the internet loves raccoons, but I think at like 50, I would probably draw the line. Like, this is too many raccoons in this area.
Yeah.
Like at this specific spot, that's too many raccoons.
I've seen a video of like an older gentleman that feeds raccoons like hot dogs and stuff, but
Yeah.
it had been like 50 raccoons.
Like, how many raccoons would it take before you got kind of like nervous?
Oh, about 10.
That feels pretty.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If I looked out the back window and I saw more than like 3, I think I would freak out a little bit.
Yeah, like what is their game? They look like tiny bandits. Are they casing the joint? What's going on
And
here?
if the 3 raccoons were stacked on top of each other in a trench coat, I would be doubly suspicious.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're always kind of sneaky looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mike, I think the
That's-
next raccoon that comes up, I'm going to name him Sly Cooper.
Oh,
We had a very, like the last raccoon I saw at the back door was very photogenic.
Oh, it was the cutest goddamn raccoon I've ever
Like
seen.
you see a picture of this, I should post a picture of this raccoon, but you just
Do
want
it.
to like grab him and snuggle him.
Yeah.
I remember one time there was a huge ass possum in our backyard, like
We get those
gigantic.
too.
Yeah, like I was alarmed by how large it was. I was like, holy shit!
We had one that was so fat it was an orb.
Oh,
It was a porb.
Ball possum.
oh.
It was cute and silly looking, and then we were like, he gonna die.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you what we've got in the backyard right now that we keep hearing are and perfect time of year, bats and owls.
Ooh.
Yeah. And have I told y'all on the show about the owls at the old house in South Jackson?
Were they not what they seemed?
Oh, they were exactly what they seemed, which was horny as fuck. Because they would fuck under my window at night. Have you ever heard 2 owls fuck?
I've not had that pleasure.
A lot of screeching sounds. And I know you're probably thinking, were they fighting? No, they wouldn't have done this that often.
Yeah, one of them did a flyby and cummed on your window.
Yeah, no, it's really fucked up. I owl pearl necklaces, it's crazy. Well, that's, you know what, that's actually a good animal story for the most part.
Yeah, my other story was there is a robot that gets a face of living skin that allows it to smile.
I've seen that. I hate it.
Complete with like an animated thing to show you how. Oh, and of course it's the fucking University of Tokyo.
They
Fuckers.
do all kinds of weird, crazy.
Fucking fucking Akira is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's an inevitability.
It's all gonna start with the Dawson's Creek Trapper Keeper. Yep.
Oh man.
So, thank you for that, David. I'm glad we had a happy animal one for the most
50
part.
to 100 raccoons.
I mean, if they were tamed, that'd be great.
Yeah, and you have an army.
Yeah.
You have the best team for a heist.
Ooh. Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Very good point.
You get to unfold that map dramatically on the table. You got like 50 to 100 raccoons. Some of them have nicknames.
Yeah.
No, that's the dream. That's the dream, man.
Well, guys, we're gonna skip questions this week because I am exhausted, but we are gonna do one last segment. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for everyone's absolute favorite part of this series, Phantoms and Monsters Theater. Hello, welcome to Phantoms and Monsters Theater. I am your host, Lord Kevin Beef Wellington, and it is time once again for me to say thank you for indulging me on that.
One day I'm gonna start like humming to it, and it's gonna ruin it for you.
Yeah, having to sync it up, you fucker.
Yep.
No, I'm just gonna make it sound like you're out of tune completely.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, because I am out of tune completely.
So guys, what we've got this week is a little bit of a game.
Uh-oh.
I've got 4 possible articles from phantomsandmonsters.com.
Jesus Christ, it's a bumper crop of crazy.
It is. And I have a D4 in my hand from one of my dice sets.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, D4, Dungeons & Dragons, 4-sided dice, I call it a caltrop.
Yes, very much so. Mm-hmm. And this is a special one. It is from probably the very first, it's either the first or second dice set I ever bought.
Ooh.
So it's green with black flecks and the numbers are white, so it's actually legible.
Ooh.
Because the first 2 sets I bought were completely illegible. And anyway, we're going to roll a D4 here.
Okay.
To determine which story I'm going to do. So, hang on one sec. We're going to see if we can get the sound of this thing. All right. We rolled a 4, which means our article this week from phantomsandmonsters.com, Alpha Draconians, Nexus of Reptilian Races.
Now, did you add your dexterity modifier?
I did.
Okay.
Which is none. Okay.
Your back hurts.
Yep. This is just an article. Regularly, I receive questions concerning alien races, where they come from, and the characteristics associated with each race. Many people have claimed to encounter some of these alien races, and there are a variety of descriptions that correlate to each group. What I am going to attempt to do is to occasionally offer available information. You know what? Actually, we're not going to do this one.
Shit.
Because we covered this.
We'll say you took a -1 on your dexterity, so that
All
makes
right.
it 3.
No, that's a good point. I didn't realize this was basically, hey, let's cover what I did in all them aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, much better. This is perfect. Mushroom hunter observes gnome walking through woods.
Wait, absorbs?
Observes.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a second. Is he like... Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Come into me, tiny gnome. Come into my folds.
Because that would have been really weird. Like, was this person a mimic or something? I don't...
Yeah. The displacer beast. No, wait, not displacer beast. Gelatinous cube. That's what I'm thinking of. So, an outdoorsman and mushroom hunter, what kind of mushrooms there, pal, observes a bipedal short humanoid walking through the woods. He eventually realizes that this is not a woodland animal.
It's Kevin Hart.
God damn it. The following account was forwarded to me. I will be the first to admit I thought these types of sightings were a joke and not real, and I've never been able to take them seriously.
Dear Penthouse.
Yeah. I thought it wouldn't happen to me. Anyway, I'm an outdoorsman and have been for 35 years. I'm only 28 years old. No, I grew up in the woods. I memorized trees for mushroom hunting for a living. Wow. I know every brook, stream, bush, berry grove, log, you name it. Has he named them? That's the question. Because of this, I want to keep my location private. I'm on a forest road and not a soul in sight. I gather some mushrooms and look up the road and see a rock has fallen from the loose, steep side of the mountain to the middle of the road. I mentally note that I have to move it and not drive over it. I gather my mushrooms and get back to the car. I look up and see what appears to be a 2 or 2.5 foot tall little brown thing walking from the side of the road over to the rocks. My first logical thought is that it's a squirrel. But I see it is walking on 2 legs, appears to be wearing brown cloth or fur shoes, and is shaped like a human, but very tiny. It's not scurrying either. It's ambling on 2 legs like a human would, just casually walking like this is some normal, regular thing, like the monotonous work it does for a living. He saw David the Gnome. I don't believe my lying eyes. That's a country music song. Your lying eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has to be something else. I get back in the car and head up the road and see that the rock has been pushed back to the side of the road from whence it came.
Winced.
It had fallen off the hill, rolled to my left, and then was sitting back on the other side of the road on the right. There are drag marks like something slid it back. I look, I smell, I sense, I listen. Nothing. I don't know where gnomes live, but the old partially logged section where I was looking, pretty much perfect for a clan of these things. Lots of places to hide, secluded, near water, plenty of routes of escape, and will be easy to dig little holes in the mountain and be fortified against invaders.
Suffice it to say, next season I'm hunting gnome.
God damn it. That sounds like a TV show, Gnome Hunters.
Gnome Hunters.
The side road into it was flooded and appears to do so regularly. So these little guys even have their own moat. I'm positive I'm overthinking this.
Really?
It was a long drive back up the mountain, then down the mountain the other way. Or alternately go the fuck around. And sometimes home. And I can't pick this apart into anything else but being a tiny little forest man. I'm like 1,000% positive that I saw what I saw. It was near a military special interest zone, allegedly blocked off due to some native butterflies. But I'm starting to wonder if this research area is really about butterflies after all. They send you to prison, ban you from parks, and give you a $5,000 fine if you take a single berry from inside that boundary. So you're stealing mushrooms from it. Yeah. So that's that one. That's Yep.
Yeah, I mean he's stealing the mushrooms of the Fae there. Like,
Yep.
That's not gonna get. And like, here's the thing: I appreciate this one because He has that flight of fancy. Well, that looks like that might be the the moat for the little gnome houses up in the wall there. Just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been there, man. I've like, oh, wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah, no, I read
cute.
the gnome book.
Yeah.
I've always been like, well, that'd be fucking great to find, little gnome guys.
Now, how would you feel if you saw 50 to 100 gnomes outside your door?
I think I put on some stomping boots. No, I'm kidding. Actually, if I saw that many gnomes, I'd be, I think, delighted, unless they have spears.
No, I would be terrified, because even like one gnome is trouble.
That's fair.
Yeah, like, no, and then it's like, okay, what did you do to get 100 of them on your case?
Yeah, what the fuck
What
did you
fairy
do, pal?
ring did you, like, shit in?
Mike, what do you think it was?
It was a guy that was just really, really far away.
Okay, here's another question. What kind of mushrooms is he picking?
Morels. I don't know.
Nice.
Honestly, it reminds me of my goblin story.
A little bit.
Yeah, no, it's like, again, I don't know what I saw, but it looked like a little tiny thing. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I can't judge the guy too harshly, because, like, I mean, I've had a similar experience. And
Yeah,
I
it's
turned
fair.
it into a comic, which you can get on my website. If you go to the Join Me tab, it'll take you to the, like, my Ko-fi account, where you can download the PDF. There you go.
Yeah, it's good. It's a fun little story.
Yeah.
So, that is it, guys.
Yeah.
And I am gonna pass the hell out here in a few. But I want to thank everyone for listening. Have we got any plugs before I launch into the spiel?
I'm still at it with my essay a day with every horror movie I watch. I'm 11 days into it now, so I'm like a third of the way through the month. And yeah, just go to my website, hbcomics.com, under What's New, and you'll find links to all that fun stuff I'm doing.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, you got anything you want to plug you've been paying attention to?
Not really. Not this week.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go to YouTube and look up the channel Esoterica. It is a Jewish doctor and expert on the occult and religions. And he has great videos like The Origin of Yahweh. So give that a look. It's like an hour and something minutes of him explaining how the warrior storm god Yahweh of a obscure mountain group became God.
Interesting.
Like God. And he also makes like pop culture references in it. So really interesting guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check it
I
out.
like it.
All right. So that's it. I want to thank everyone for listening. If you would like to learn more about the show, head to supernatpod.rocks. That is supernatpod.rocks. You'll find a link to our Discord, our store, and all that fun stuff. And you can join our Patreon as well if you would like to see more of this and help us get to a point where we can start doing this a little more constantly. How's that?
Oh, and then also keep an eye on the Patreon, because we might have a supernatural sources for you next week.
Indeed. And there, I think we had one go up this week where it was me and Spooky Dice Bag once again reading from Xenogenesis.
Gee, you're spending a lot of time with Spooky Dice Bag. Good thing I'm not the jealous type.
I'm there on Sundays, man. What can I say?
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you for listening. We will see you guys next week. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I wonder what gnome tastes like.
I don't want to know.
Short pig.
I'd rather know what Bigfoot tastes like than gnome.
Gamey.
Yeah.
It tastes like your average sovereign citizen. So probably grease.
Probably bite-sized.